Yeah, details a little sketchy right now about what the injury could be to Tyler Friday. He is a senior defensive end, and he would be considered a backup right now. You have Tyreek Smith and Zach Harrison are the ones, and then you would think that you would have Javonte Jean-Baptiste as well as Tyler Friday and Noah Potter, who were all kind of commingled, one might think, as the backups there, although Potter may also be repping some at defensive tackle, though given this development, he's probably shoved back outside to defensive end. And then you have the two freshmen that everybody is agog about, Jack Sawyer and JT Tuimoloau, trying to work their way up the depth chart and push their way into the two deep. And certainly it would now appear that you could probably bracket them as the backup at one of the spots, just as a penciling in motion on the first day. So, and then certainly everyone's stock will rise and fall as they go along. But Tyler Friday, according to Coach Day, will miss preseason camp and a good portion of the regular season, if not all of the regular season. Obviously, he would be eligible to come back the following year in 2022 as a fifth-year senior, I believe. So, again, kind of hurts your depth at a position where you're not real deep. They don't have 8 defensive ends as they've had in some years. They only have 6 or 7, and now they're down to 5 or 6. But it is good to know that you have 2 high-end, high-ceiling type guys with Jack Sawyer and JT Tuimoloau, who you can now put the carrot directly in front of their face and say, if you perform well in preseason camp, you are in the two deep and you will play. There is no doubt about it. Where there may have been some doubt that, they're only going to get 15 plays a game or something stupid like that. They're now in line to maybe play 30 plays a game if they are every bit as good as they are advertised. The need is there for backups because Harrison and Smith aren't going to play more than probably 30 to 40 plays in a given game. Even Bosa, when he was, and I'm talking about Joey, when he was in his prime, was probably never more than 40 or 50 plays a game. So, because they had some depth there. But to me, that is somewhat of a story. And I think that, again, you need to see Sawyer and Tuimoloau stay healthy. It's hard for freshmen because, they're giving up, some girth and some size to the likes of Thayer Munford and, the reconditioned So, they need to stay healthy and get through preseason camp and then go wreak havoc on the Big Ten once the season begins. But the potential's there, no doubt.
Yeah, exactly. It is a loss with Tyler Friday. We knew that things, he was dealing with an injury, but obviously the new news was the fact that he's going to miss much of the season, however you want to phrase it there. So we don't really have a lot of particulars on that, but you're right. I think it's going to be a situation of where guys like Zach Harrison and Tyreek Smith are going to probably have to pick up a couple more reps. I think with guys like Jack Sawyer and JT Tuimoloau, it's going to be easier to put them in passing situations, see the quarterback, get the quarterback. You don't have as much of a edge responsibility, things of that nature. Bring them along. The worst thing you can do is just throw them into the fire too quickly. Obviously game 1 and game 2 are much more difficult than 3, 4, 5, and 6. So you want them to have some victories out there to be able to build on some successes. So, I think they're going to have to play. I certainly think they're going to have to play early, but I don't think that you sit there and you try to make up Friday snaps with your true freshmen at this point. I think you've got some veteran guys that you can sit there and make up some of that number and bring those two along the way that you would normally try to do so, just to put them in the most successful situation this year and really get value out of them here in 2021.
I think it does accelerate what they need out of the freshmen, though. And I think Dave maybe said a little bit about that as well. But again, they have to be able to handle the responsibility. The top 4, I consider them all essentially co-starters because they rotate so much. So the Buckeyes, whoever is going to be that number 4 defensive end, is going to get quite a few snaps. And I think it was Jack Sawyer today running with as that number 4 behind Javonte Jean-Baptiste, and then I think you had Darian Henry-Young and Cormonte Hamilton in the third group, and then it was Tui Moloau and Jacoby Cohen in that fourth group. So it will be interesting to see how JTT moves up into which group. Does he move it to the third group in a week or so? So that will be interesting to watch. But yeah, it's Tyler Friday's a guy with starting experience, but he's really never been able to stay healthy. And that's been one of the downsides of that's why he's never been able to quite get to where he needs to be, which is something that Tyreek Smith has been dealing with as well throughout his career was injuries. And we saw how good he could be last year. And Day was pretty emphatic that as long as Tyreek Smith stays healthy, he will be good. But yeah, losing Friday it's bad, but it's, people will get to see the guys they want to see sooner. And so maybe they won't think it's so bad. But anytime you lose a senior defensive end who's been in the rotation, this would have been his third year in the rotation, it's a hit. And now do you make up for it by playing your 3 veterans more, give them 20% more, and then give Jack Sawyer a few snaps in there as well, and then see how long it takes Jack Sawyer to get those reps. Because remember Larry Johnson talking about Chase Young and those guys and Zach Harrison when they're freshmen, he just wants to put them in a position to succeed. They don't want to be thinking too much, as Kevin was saying. Don't want to have to worry about the edge contain and stuff. Just go get the quarterback and do that, make it easy. And now it gets a little bit more complicated for the young guys.